working, and
This meeting is being recorded.
Cool.
dun
Yeah,
dun
no, I
dun.
know. I know Trevor's working. That's. Yeah, I already know that.
That's good. It's good to know.
Oh my God! So I just saw Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Nice. I haven't.
Joe, you seen it?
No, I have not.
Oh my God! I might fuck around and see that shit again.
Actually, I haven't really caught up on Marvel Phase 4, not even gonna lie to you.
Phase 4 had some hits and misses, and I think people were more upset because all these things were just fucking hyped, and then like the writing was like mid.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Phase 4 had a lot of misses, like a lot.
Like She-Hulk should have not missed whatsoever. And then the writers are like,
I was so excited for She-Hulk,
bro.
man.
I'm like, one of the few things that the show did great was like it actually had a TV show format for every week. It wasn't like the other Marvel shows where it was like a 6-hour movie. Like She-Hulk was straight up going to be, was it a courtroom dramedy and shit like that. I mean, granted, they had some fire Easter eggs, but the writing was like how is it that every guy is an asshole?
Was a little garbage.
Yeah.
You said what?
I said I think we can all agree that the ending was garbage.
It's not even like, I wouldn't say garbage. It's just more so like, what the fuck? Like, so the writers are like,
I just don't care for it. I just didn't care for it.
Like funny shit, Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk, she did a lot, and like she had some moments in the comics, and she had a huge part in the Infinity Gauntlet series too. But at the same time, the way they wrote the character, and I know for a fact like it's mainly women on that show writing, but to assume that all men are going to hate it because females are starring in the show is kind of like fucking retarded.
No,
it is.
I agree with that
because I'm like Marvel. I said Marvel, DC, Fox have constantly shown us movies. Granted, damn near. I said I'm 29 years old. There's a bunch of strong female lead characters series that I love and adore because they're strong characters that happen to be female. And it's like with the new Charlie's Angel film. The director, Elizabeth Banks, who's an amazing actress, by the way, she is like, well, she said men didn't show out to see the movie. When that second Charlie Angel movie came out, I didn't even know it was out. Like, I didn't see much press for it. It probably wasn't targeted towards me in the ads on my YouTube and shit like that either. But I didn't even know the movie was out until like the week it was out. But there was nothing different about the female characters. Like, they were all the same. And I'm sorry, there's no way you can make me believe that Kristen fucking Stewart is an action hero badass.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yep.
There's no way. Like I've seen her in a few other things, and she's fantastic. But I could not sit there and just really believe that this bitch can just do all that shit. And I'm like, there's nothing different about them. All these bitches are doing the same thing. It was wild. Even all right. So Laura Croft, strong character that happened to play a lead. I don't know if you guys seen. It's the movie with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, and he keeps living the same day over and over.
Groundhog
Her
Day?
character, not Groundhog Day. That's a Bill Murray, and that's a completely different movie. But he keeps. Oh, it's Die Repeat or something like that. But her character was fire in that movie. I said there's a history of strong characters that happen to be women, but when you focus more on, like, it takes away from the story.
Mm-hmm.
When you pull shit like that, like Black Panther. Black Panther was wildly comic book inaccurate, but it worked because there was a bunch of world building. You fell in love with the characters. There was a bunch of character development, and it was like the first few Spider-Man movies that came out, New York City was a character in itself. The city of New York wasn't, was also a city. And that's what I felt like Wakanda. Even though Chadwick was gone, and even with it being a mainly female cast in the movie, you kind of forget it was a mainly female cast in the movie because everyone stepped up and did their shit. And even the city of Wakanda was like a character in the film too, and it's really fucking beautiful. Tanaka Huerta's Namor, bro, listen, there are very few things I can find wrong with this movie, and Namor is not one of them.
I do want to ask a question real quick.
Of course.
Did they keep Namor as a mutant?
Yes.
Here's the beautiful thing about that. So Namor is telling his story to Shuri.
Okay.
And he was explaining how he was born, 500 years ago and stuff like that. And, his mother, essentially, there's vibranium in the ocean. Like there's actually there's possible two vibranium meteorites. One fell in Wakanda, the other landed in the Atlantic. So like, all right, how do I explain it? He said he's a mutant because he knew because by definition a mutation or a mutant is someone that is born different because their genes are permanently different from the others. But he said he is a mutant because the plant that his mother took while she was pregnant with him gave him wings on his feet so he could swim in the sky, and they gave him pointed ears that pointed to the sky also. But even the way like they did that in the movie, like how his people were able to go from land to water was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like if you're a brown or black person, if you're a comic book fan, period, I recommend people to see this. Like the way they play in with the whole like you'd be surprised, and there's a cameo in there. Riri Williams, I like her character, the woman that played her Dominic Thorne, and she's above 18, so I can say this. She is fine as hell. But that was one of the few things about the movie where I'm like, if Riri wasn't in it, it would have still, for the most part, been the same.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, with Marvel, they have to do that obligatory, this is connected, or they'll be coming up in this. But there is no post-credit scene. There's just a mid-credit scene. But outside of Riri, Val from the lady from Seinfeld who was in Falcon and Winter Soldier and Black Widow, outside of her and Riri, there's not many other things outside from the other Marvel movies besides Everett Ross, which he was in the last Black Panther movie.
Wait, so there's no post-credit scene at all?
There's just a mid-credit scene.
Oh, all right.
But that mid-credit scene will have you tearing the fuck up.
All I'm saying, if my boy Nova shows up, that'd be pretty sick.
You said what?
I said, if my boy Nova shows up, that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah. Well, he didn't show up.
God dang.
But this is a new character. A new character does come up at the mid-credit scene.
Okay.
Not from the comics. So totally new character. And when you understand who that character is, you'll understand why I said what I said. This movie could here's the thing about not recasting Chadwick. People were going to be upset about any decision about the movie when it comes to him being recasted anyway. Like if they recasted him, people are going to say something. If they didn't recast him, people were going to say something. But the way they filmed this movie should be getting nominated for some awards. This is probably one of the more stronger Phase 4 projects.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, have you guys seen Shang-Chi?
Yes. I've seen Shang-Chi.
Remember how fucking amazing that was?
Yes. I will admit, Shang-Chi was one of the ones I was definitely pretty happy with.
Dude, he is that guy. street level and all that. I'm like, he's a street level dude, but I'm like, he is that guy to train heroes and villains, bro. I said, I really can't wait for him to fuck around and spar with Spider-Man.
Dude, I can't wait for that either. I kind of hope they pull a little bit of I forget what the name of the event was, but like basically everyone was getting spider powers, if I recall correctly.
Oh, Spider Island. It was Spider Island. I forgot what happened.
During that same event, Spider-Man like lost his spider sense.
Mm-hmm. He lost his spider sense, but because everyone in this city was like had spider powers, he didn't have to wear his mask around the city.
Yes.
Like he was around helping people and like he nabbed up all the people that are doing bad shit, obviously. Then he was teaching people how to use their spider powers.
And if I recall, these two events may be a little bit separate, but from what I recall, Spider-Man had lost his spider sense for a while, and Shang-Chi actually taught him
the way of the spider,
how to live without it by teaching him a brand new martial art. He got
which only Spider-Man can. Yeah, Spider-Man is the only one that knows the way of the spider, which is dope. For someone to teach you something that only you can do, and the person who did it can't do what you do, is amazing. When it comes to both of the characters, because
I feel like Spider-Man is as a character in terms of fighting is heavily underrated because a lot of
because he holds back a lot of exactly he is one of the strongest heroes, and the only thing stopping him from knocking the niggas block off is him.
Yeah, no, like I will say this: like even if you got rid of the strength in terms of just pure combat capability, like fighting style.
Oh no, his spider sense and the fact that Peter constantly is on his feet thinking about shit and distracting motherfuckers with jokes. Man
is honestly just very underrated when it comes into like hand-to-hand combat. Like again, not so much just in strength, but like actual
reaction time,
martial arts, reaction time, speed, agility.
Because like Peter, outside of him being Spider-Man, he's not the most athletic. He wasn't athletic before he got his power, so he doesn't do that outside of him being Spider-Man now, which is a really great thing about his character. Like he's still that guy that rides a bike or sometimes swinging to work. He's struggling to pay rent. He's got issues with his female or another. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where outside of his job, he's not doing shit to help him being Spider-Man. Like when it comes to fighting, like all the time. You know what I'm saying? He's not always training. He's living life, and the fact that he can just get up and just bop, what's going, like, you know what I'm saying? Some shit happens, he'll swing around. Nick Fury, what the fuck is going, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, I like Spider-Man because he's most likely at any given time gonna swing around to see what the fuck is going on, because that's the type of person that's the type of person Peter is.
Exactly.
But like when it came to the city of Talokan and the Talokanians and Namor and his people, like you kind of understood where he was coming from. Like I can't so there's a plot beat, and the reason why Riri is in the movies because she builds a device that detects vibranium through damn near any surface and even underwater. So when the U.S. government went to go grab it and grab the vibranium, the Talokanians murked 30 of them, like the whole shit.
Oh dang!
Like, and then like it was a night scene, so you didn't see Namor per se, but when I tell you he grabbed the back of the helicopter, swung it, and threw it in the ocean, and it's night, it's thundering, and you can just see him just floating in the dark, and I'm like, that is hard.
Yeah, kind of like what they shown in the trailer.
Right, because the soul of Namor is that he gives a fuck about his people. Like he'll straight up go to war at the surface. You know what I'm saying? He'll go to war with anyone, but he's about his people. He's essentially Black Adam underwater.
Yeah, I was gonna say in that regard, for comic books, he does remind me a lot of both Black Panther and Black Adam, for the point where it's like,
because he mirrors Black Panther.
Yeah, but like there's like a world-ending threat. And it's like, just like Black Panther, like everyone was getting freaking wrecked, and he found out that Wakanda was under attack. So he proceeded to leave all the Avengers to go and help defend Wakanda. And like, the same thing, so does Black Adam.
And then on a different case, remember during Avengers versus X-Men, when he was possessed by the Phoenix Force, he found out that Wakanda was harboring Avengers. He ended up flooding Wakanda.
I actually so I know a little bit about Avengers versus X-Men because
bro, I got it. Yeah, that comic event, boy. If Marvel can do that with the mutants,
comic book store, they're like each one of those issues is like $50 each.
Oh no, you get the giant compilation version for $50. Don't do that.
Oh, really? I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, I got that when I came out, and the whole big ass issue was $50.
Nice.
Like I'd rather I get the big issues, but with that, and then after that, their beef like was it? He did that, and then Secret War was about to happen. It was like right after that, the incursion started happening. That's when another Earth popped up over Wakanda. And sorry. You said what?
I said, oh no, I'm thinking of Secret Invasion. Never mind. Go on.
Yeah, but Secret Wars, like with the incursions and like the universes crashing into each other. Namor, like Black Panther, he disbanded from Illuminati way before like they even started. But Namor, he left the Illuminati because they wasn't willing to do what needed to be done in his eyes to kill the other universes to save theirs.
Yeah. Wasn't that the Ultimate Universe that he did that to, or was that just another or random one?
It was another one. The Ultimate Universe, like I think that was different. I don't think it was that one. But what was funny about that is, like, once he teamed up with Thanos and his cabal, because what Thanos and them started doing was like, oh no, we're not just gonna destroy. Like, before we destroy this world, we're gonna kill everybody on this planet and then have the universe die. And then Moore is like, yeah, I'm gonna have to back up because he wasn't ready to do all that. He still gives a fuck about he still has some morals.
Yeah.
So then he goes to another person for help. And the person he goes to ask for help is none other than Dr. Victor Von Doom. And Victor is such a savage. He literally said, so I was your second choice. He said, you have to understand. He said, when it comes to that, he said, I am my people's God. He said, before they pray to God, they pay for me. I give them safety. I give them food. I give them stability. He said, the fact that you asked me after Thanos, for the most part, he said, essentially it's bullshit. And no, I will not help you just because you didn't come to me first.
Yeah. No, like
he said, I will not help you at all.
Judgment Day recently, right? Which was the most recent Marvel event. And that
was Avengers versus X-Men versus Eternals.
Yes, that's the one that's going on right now. So they revived a Celestial to basically stop the Eternals from trying to kill the X-Men, right? And the Celestial decided that I'm going to judge everyone, and if enough of you fail, I'm wiping out all of you, right?
Oh yeah, Erisham the Judge is no joke.
Yeah, yeah. No,
he was the red Celestial at the end of throughout of Eternals.
Was he? Was that
the red one? Yeah, the red one is Erisham the Judge.
Okay, but
I think so. Or it could have been the one. It could have been the one with the Power Stone in the Guardians of the Galaxy flashback.
Probably.
I know the Celestials exist. I know they created the universe in Marvel Comics. That's about it.
I don't think they necessarily created the universe. Oh, I'm not gonna say they created the universe. They were there, and they were there in the beginning of the universe. Long story short, the mutants are a deviation of the Eternals because they come from the deviant gene. So in the Eternals' eyes, anybody that is a deviant or comes from a deviant has to be murked. And that's why the Eternals started murking the X-Men, because they come from deviants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what kicked that off. But
And the funny thing is, right now the X-Men are capable of resurrection on Krakoa, due with some help from Mr. Sinister. But that's a whole nother thing, bro.
Yeah, no, I remember. I was gonna say, I think there was like a special set from what I was reading. It looks like there was a special set of 5 mutants that basically kind of do the resurrection thing. It's based off of all their mutations. It's weird how it operates, but anyways, as he's like going through and judging all these different characters, right? Which I'll say this, like when he judged Captain America, and like to the whole world, right? Like everyone across the planet was listening to this, and he just looks at Captain America and is like saying all these great things about him. He goes, "You fail," and then he just kills him right then and there.
Damn.
I was like, dude, my jaw freaking dropped when I was like, that's like, dude, if Captain America failed, who the hell is going to be considered worthy? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
because Cap is one of the more pure Marvel characters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like as he's going through and he's judging people, my favorite one was with Doctor Doom. And Doctor Doom sees him in the distance, right? Because he's like appearing to everyone in these different forms to judge them. But he appears to Doctor Doom in the distance, and Doctor Doom just scoffs and turns around, and he doesn't even say anything. But what you said his name was Reshiram, right?
Yeah,
I think Eshram or something like that.
Eshram, but like you know how they have the little background dialogue.
Erisham. There we go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's going just like Doctor Doom judges himself, and he judges that he is worthy. And he's like, I'm going to argue with him, and then he just continued. And I was like, that's the most Doctor Doom thing ever. To basically look at God in the face and go, I am worthy, and then just walk off. And then for God to agree with you.
That's some boss ass shit right there.
No, because Doctor Doom in the comics, he's literally touched and had damn near every piece of power. You can think of the Infinity Gauntlet, the Cosmic Cube. Like he's done it.
Did he become the All Father at one point too?
I'm not sure, but it wouldn't be out of his character to pursue something like that. Like this dude created Battle World after Secret Wars.
Yeah, with Molecule Man.
Mm-hmm.
No, dude, Secret Wars was awesome. I mean, I thought it was awesome because I don't know about you, but I was a big fan of the Marvel Zombies storyline, which I'll admit I feel like some of the story was a little sucky in the way that they made everything. Because, like, for example, with how a lot of people got infected so easily. But I still thought it was awesome to see, like, all the superheroes, like, get infected. You saw, like, and then they got to keep their minds, right? They got to keep their, like...
Peter was, like, mad. I know Peter, like, I remember reading it. Peter was, like, really upset that he messed around and ate Aunt May. And...
Yeah, dude, that was really tough for me, because... Let's see, the story came out in like 2009, if I recall correctly. And I was like 6. So you could imagine how me being a huge Spider-Man fan at the age of 6 felt seeing him eat people. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, 2009. Damn. You know what? I think 2009, I was a junior. I was like a junior sophomore in high school. So reading that just blew my mind because this is an era where like they started getting more and more bold with what they're doing with the characters.
Yeah. But I thought it was cool in Secret Wars when you see, which also one of my favorite Black Panther moments was Black Panther has the Infinity Gauntlet, breaks down this giant wall, and all the Marvel zombies start coming out. And he's just like this amazing speech, and all the Marvel zombies decide to side with him to fight Doom.
Yeah, because the thing was being used as a literal wall.
Yes. And then if I remember correctly, at this point in time, wasn't like Black Panther supposed to be like some kind of... He didn't have like a blessing from like a god of death or something? Which is another...
No, at that point, I'm not sure if it was before or after, but he went to, I know he went to the Necropolis, the king of the Necropolis in Wakanda, which is the city of the dead, and he's able to commune with like either the dead or former Black Panthers.
Yeah.
Basically in the actual plane.
Shuri was Black Panther at this time, and then I think he eventually reclaimed it, but still got some kind of weird blessing. I don't fully recall, but go ahead, Q.
Oh no, what was it? I think he was Black. I think he had to leave to be king because the people didn't want him to be. No, he had to remain Black Panther. She was queen at the time, and then when she became Black Panther, Boss didn't even accept her at first because Shuri essentially is an atheist in her culture. She doesn't believe in like the cultural and spiritual. I mean, the spiritual aspect of her culture. So like Boston taking the urban shit like that, and they'll see, like you'll see it in the movie. First thing you'll hear is her praying to Boss because she's bargaining. She's going through the 5 stages of grief in this movie. So the first thing she'll ask Boss is to help her brother, and then she won't question her existence again. And she fights through that shit throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what comes after this. Like once you guys see it, you'll know what I'm talking about, because like I said, they didn't really tease anything for after the fact.
Also, real quick, what was the start of Phase 4? Because I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it flew by.
Phase 4 was WandaVision.
It was
WandaVision, because what was it? WandaVision aired like a few days after
Endgame.
Yeah, Endgame.
Yeah, dang, that means it's only been like what, 2 years? Not even a full 2 years yet.
Yeah, because I remember
it's been 2 years. I think it's WandaVision, Hawkeye, and it
was WandaVision, Captain America and Winter Soldier. Then Hawkeye, I believe.
Loki.
Like I got Disney. I got Disney Plus right here. So what I'm doing, I'm gonna share my screen.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, no, like I feel like they rushed Phase 4. I definitely think they could.
It's not even that. There's just so much shit in Phase 4, because remember that's one phase. The 10 years of Marvel that started before that was what, 3 phases and 20 movies.
Yeah.
Phase 4 isn't just movies.
Yeah, no, I know that, but I'm saying though, because I feel like because of Phase 4 having the movies, the shows, and then instead of spreading them out within like a good
because a lot of people were saying that they had damn, I just had it up here. They said they were having Marvel burnout, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, which I feel like Marvel was trying to pump out way too many projects within too close span of one another.
Yeah.
Like for me, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the shows, but like you guys were saying earlier, I think they should have it like a normal TV show kind of airing thing, right? So it's like so instead of trying to pump,
because that's what they try to do with She-Hulk. She-Hulk, for the most part, it's a good show. It's not bad. It's not the greatest.
I agree. It's a good show. It's not my favorite, but it's still a good show. Right.
And I think for the most, like I said, when it came to the format of being a television show, it was the best at doing that.
Yes, I can agree with that. And when it comes to
it gave us 9 episodes compared to 6. Should have been 13.
Yeah.
Some of the shit like wrote in there was like,
Yeah.
Like the way she hated Bruce saying, I know how to control my powers because I get catcalled. I'm like, bro, dude was literally
hunted by the army for years.
Yes.
Right. For like his whole...
I was just saying stuff like before he met the Avengers. Like this dude was hunted by the army for years. He had to fight the Abomination. He had to fight his dad, who like turned into Korvac, if I recall correctly.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, Bruce and Bruce, I'm like, a lot of people don't understand. Bruce was a victim of child abuse and neglect.
Yeah.
And he developed DID, similar to Max Spector, kind of. But he, like I said, the other guy already existed inside of Bruce because of his trauma. And he didn't really deal with that too much in a healthy way. So the reason why Jen doesn't have another person when she gets angry is because she, for the most part, dealt with that in more healthy ways compared to Bruce. And I feel like that's more a conversation on, men and mental health than anything.
Yeah, but I can agree with that because like in the comic books, right? He has the same thing, and that's why he has the different personalities, like Joe Fixit, for example, which is
exactly. He has all these different types of Hulks because
I
the
will
guy.
say the things that did slightly bother me is that they made World War Hulk a split personality. I kind of wish they would have had.
Even. I felt like they did it too soon.
I feel like.
But if you're going to, because Marvel is like I said, Marvel the MCU is loosely based off Earth 98 and the Ultimate Universe, but Marvel can't do a solo Hulk film because Universal owns the rights to the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
So like if we get a War Hulk, there's going to be characters. It just won't be his. Like I'm like it might not even be called War Hulk. It could just, you know what I'm saying, just because Hulk can't have a solo movie.
Which I definitely will. A World War Hulk movie if they do come out with it. I think it's a little too late to do that now because of the events of Rock. But no, World War Hulk. Well, Planet Hulk was one of my favorite storylines ever. World War Hulk, the sequel to that, I love that one too. But it's just
they did introduce Scar, but like I said, I kind of felt that. With the finale, because I'm like I get that was a payoff from the first episode. Of course, being shit and was there for 2 years, being a champion. Of course, he's gonna get some cheats. But I'm like at the same time, did we have to get him in She-Hulk? Because we could have gotten some shit in the next Captain America movie. Seeing that the leader is going to be a villain, and he was a villain in the Hulk movie.
Yeah, which. I will say this. I do feel like, again, because Scar's showing up, I feel like they completely pushed out the chance of there being a Planet Hulk movie, unless it's going to be kind of like what they do with Black Widow.
Yeah.
See, Black Widow wasn't bad. Because I'm like, personally, she should have had her own movie or a miniseries.
I think one of the things that also bothered me about the movie was I feel like it was way too late.
Yeah,
I think
because it took place after Civil War.
Had a movie way before this. I think they did better with Hawkeye because he didn't have a movie, but he had his own series.
Mm-hmm. And also passing the torch as well.
Yeah, at the same time, which I thought was really good how they did it. I don't think they did as well with Black Panther, not Black Panther, Black Widow. But I will say another thing that bothered me, which I know like a lot of people but are kind of half and half on this. I didn't like Taskmaster in that movie.
No, it's not the fact that Taskmaster was even a fucking.
So I will say for me, I would have preferred if they had a more combo accurate Taskmaster. That does include the male. I'm not saying he would have had to be male because it's
not. It doesn't like there are a bunch of gender swaps that work.
Yeah, like since it's
especially for those who didn't.
Like you were saying earlier, it's meant to be its own universe, right? It's not meant to be
based off the Ultimate Universe because remember in the Ultimate Universe, Nick Fury was like in the main universe we had someone that looked like what's his name? A young Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
looking like so.
But like I just didn't like the fact that Taskmaster was. How do I put this? How do I word this?
He was a drone. He had no type of she had no type of agency for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Her powers weren't her own, and that's what was frustrating.
Yeah.
Because her moves were amazing, but when you find out the bitch just had chip in her neck and surely couldn't do that, I'm like.
Yeah, which
even Tony Masters.
Go ahead.
No, Tony Masters was a former Agent Shield in the comics, even though he wasn't a former Agent Shield. Even like the fact that this was the girl Natasha was supposed to kill, the one that Loki was talking about in the first Avengers. The fact that she just had a chip in her head and you let her dad be the villain. Bro, all she had to do was break her nose and punch a nigga in the face, bro. Like,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
But like, no, I can agree with that because Taskmaster in the comic books, which I wish they would have kept this as well, especially because they had the Red Guardian, right, which was Russia's attempt at a super soldier. I wish they would have kept
like another Captain America,
another attempt for a super soldier, and because of that, she got the ability to be able to copy people's moves because of the way that her brain worked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because even in the comics, Taskmaster really had that ability. He took a serum to make that ability even more refined.
Yeah,
and that's what made him even more powerful. He already had that ability. He's
but
happens to be enhanced.
Yeah, which I also like. What they kind of did a little bit recently was they kind of retconned Taskmaster just a little bit to tweak that to the point where basically, like, yeah, he's learning all these abilities, right? Like, he memorizes all of them perfectly. But because of, how, like, the human brain works, you start to forget things when you remember new things. He's, like, forgetting his past life. So, like, for example, when he was with S.H.I.E.L.D., he was actually married, right? He had a wife. If I recall correctly, he even had children. But he has, like, no idea who they are anymore because of the serum basically doing its thing and making him learn more and more and more. Which I think also would have been kind of cool to do with the female Taskmaster. To kind of make it where it was like, maybe something where it's like she kind of forgot that the main dude, like, what was her father, right? Or the fact that maybe she did remember, but say the events with Black Widow were remembered differently, where Black Widow may have, like, said, try to save her beforehand, right? But the way that she remembered it, because of the way that the serum worked, was Black Widow was the woman that tried to kill her and her father, and her father kind of, like, twisted it
to his image,
to make it where it's like, oh yes, she was the one that tried to kill us when we were young. She's the reason why we were her, and that we had to do this to you and stuff like that. I think that would have made a better Taskmaster.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right. So when it comes to Marvel Phase 4, I got it right here. You guys can see it?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So it goes WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, Black Widow, What If, Shang-Chi, Eternals, hell yeah, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man No Way Home, Miss Marvel, Thor Love and Thunder was to me. I Am Groot, the shorts were hilarious and cute. And Werewolf by Night, which is something I must recommend for everyone. It is a Marvel presentation.
They never come out more episodes.
It is not connected.
Actually, like 3 weeks in a row, and they only had one episode.
Oh no, it is the Marvel 1 hour special. It's a Marvel 1 hour special presentation.
Oh, okay. I would have wished that this was one of the things they did turn into a show. Especially when I freaking saw Man Thing, dude. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah, Man Thing has dude, he protects the nexus of all realities, and I think that's dope.
Yes, and he's Weapon 5, I think. Weapon 4 for the Weapon X program.
Yeah, he was one of the earlier ones, because a lot of the earlier ones were minorities.
Yeah, I also
and like War Dogs and shit.
Captain America was the very first Weapon X program.
Oh yeah, he was Weapons +1, and then between him and Wolverine, they had a few other people.
Yeah, I know Luke.
Phantom Menace, he was number 13.
Was he?
Yeah, he was number 13. Obviously, Wolverine's daughter was number 23. It's 23. So there's a whole history of. You know how many people have a version of Super Soldier Serum in them?
Yeah. No, there's a lot of people with a version.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah. You got all the Hulks, you got all the Widows, all the Captain Americas, Bucky, Red Guardian,
Omega Red.
Fucking
Did Red have a Super Soldier Serum?
I think so.
I'm not really sure. I think he did.
Do more research on, because I remember seeing him like a few times before, and I thought he was such a cool character, but I don't really know too much about the character myself.
I think he's like a Russian version of like Wolverine,
Yeah.
or they try to attempt to make another Wolverine.
Yeah, they really did, and they used a different substance that ate at Wolverine's adamantium. Like it was poisonous to Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't fully recall what that was. I think what was it? I think it was something like a death blight or something like that. I forget what he called
Yeah, his shit was no, it's carbonate. What was it carbonium or some shit like that?
Yeah, so
Carbonadium.
that's just
Yeah.
for healing factors in general. That's not, but yeah, it is supposed to be like an alternate version of adamantium. It's not as durable, but in my opinion,
it definitely fucked Wolverine shit up.
Oh yeah, yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, it gets rid of healing factors completely for a temporary time. And if you're killed while you are with this kind of item, you're dead. There's no coming back.
Word.
Yes, rest in peace, my nigga.
Like eventually you will heal from it. Like your healing factor eventually will kick in. But if you're exposed to enough of it, like you will not be healing for a while or you'll die.
I think wait, hold on. It says that he has the ability to secrete pheromones from his body, known as death spores.
Death spores, not death blights.
Yeah, there we go.
But if I recall correctly, wasn't carbonadium like a man-made version of adamantium?
I think so, because adamantium came from a meteor.
Yes, carbonadium is a Soviet Union attempt to make adamantium.
Okay. But yeah, I was going to say, because I know it's not as durable as adamantium, but because of the effect of nullifying a healing factor, it is heavily sought out for.
Oh yeah, definitely, because Wolverine isn't the only one with a healing factor, not even the only mutant with a healing factor. He just has one of the most potent.
I think Dakin is a sick character because his claws are carbonadium.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think he might actually be immune to carbonadium. I'm not 100% sure, because I know when his claws pop back in, he heals perfectly fine.
Shit, I thought they were adamantium, but you might be right.
Yeah, no, Dakin's is carbonadium as far as I know, because his claws, he fought Scar at one point, and his claws nullified Scar's healing factor through the whole fight. He almost killed
Scar. I know when he first met Wolverine, remember, he gutted Wolverine open because Wolverine was being held back in a carbonadium in handcuffs or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it was just his carbonadium claws in general.
No, I just
What I recall, his claws prevent people from healing. It could be made of another material, but as far as I know, they're carbonadium. Let me look it up.
And when he first met him, he said, "Hello, Father." Wolverine didn't know who he was, and then he gutted him. Obviously, he healed, but he was just stuck there. Hold on, I'll be right back. Give me a few minutes. Talk amongst yourself real quick. Be like 2 minutes.
All right. Yeah, there's a lot of Weapon X things.
Yeah, no, his are carbonadium because he basically coated his claws in the same material as the Muramasa blade, which Muramasa blade is made out of carbonadium.
That's what I was trying to look for. I'll be right back. Hold on.
All right. But yeah, I cannot wait till we have an X-Men movie.
What were you saying, Q?
I'm just saying I can't wait till we have another X-Men movie, but this time in the MCU.
Yes, the one I'm mostly excited for is the Fantastic Four.
That too.
Dude, I freaking loved the original Fantastic Four movies. I feel like they are heavily hated for no reason.
Yeah.
The last one they came out with was garbage. I'll admit.
Yes, the last one that came out was absolute garbage.
But the first two, those were good.
Yes.
Like, bro, put some respect.
Like the one with freaking what's the face? Chris Evans.
Yes, when Chris Evans was the Human Torch.
Yes.
Which I heard they might be making for the Secret Wars event, they might have it where Chris Evans, as a little cameo, is an alternate version of Johnny Storm who became Captain America.
Ooh.
Which I think would be pretty freaking cool.
But how's that going to relate to, freaking Sam?
Oh, no, that was for Secret Wars. That, like, it was going to be an alternate version of Captain America during the Secret Wars event.
All right. Like the powers of the Human Torch along with Captain America.
Yes.
If Chris Evans don't play that character, I swear to God.
I also heard, like, I don't know how accurate this is, but I also heard supposedly Keanu Reeves is supposed to be playing the next Iron Man.
I don't see it. Like, I don't see it.
I'll admit it's hard to see anyone, including Keanu Reeves, despite my love for the man.
Yes, that man cannot do no wrong.
Like, dude, Robert Downey Jr., he's stuck as Iron Man for me. I can't see anyone else playing Iron Man.
Yes.
I think when you have someone in like a legacy role like that, it's hard to not see him in anything anything else. Like Hugh Jackman has done Broadway and all these other things too, but I think it's still Wolverine first to me. I was 7. I was like 6 or 7 when he popped up on the screen. The Metal Claws shit changed my life. That meant a lot to me because the X-Men were my introduction to actual comics. Like I knew who Spider-Man was, but I didn't read comics. You know what I'm saying? I watched the television show and all that, but X-Men got me into comics.
Yeah. No, I think my first Marvel movie introduction was, I think it was either Spider-Man or the earlier Fantastic Four movies.
I think it was like the Spider-Man movies.
I remember one time, which don't crucify me, I used to be a DC fan. But anyway.
So they had some bangers back in the day. Good stuff. Like the Justice League animated shows are fire.
Right now. DC
Static was popping.
If you look at my profile picture right now, you see my Red Hood cosplay.
Oh no, that shit is hard.
DC.
That's fire, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, no,
and that's the thing when it came to DC had a lot of, I think, mainly because I was a kid in the early 2000s, they had a lot of animated shit that I was like really hype about.
Yeah,
I really loved.
The Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, still two of my favorite.
And then
all time.
Then you had shows like shows like Static Shock, the Batman. The Batman animated series was huge to me too.
Oh yeah.
It was films like, because my first live action Batman that I seen was Michael Keaton's Batman. So like dealing with character like just because DC was so crazy, I didn't know there was like another Flash, because my Flash is Wally West. Like Barry wasn't alive when I was alive.
Thank you. Yeah, no, dude, Wally West is my favorite too.
And he's the best Flash, hands down. And he's a faster character in the DC universe. But he was literally my Flash. Like Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor on Smallville, voiced him. I was hyped to see Wally West every time I watched Justice League. Anytime I got to see the Flash, it was amazing. And then Barry came back, and then I was like, I fell in love with the Flash character all over again. And Wally came back, and he got done dirty, and they got him better. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, no, dude, when they freaking wiped Wally West out of existence for the New 52, like I didn't read any freaking.
And then he came back. Yep. He came back. He didn't have no kids. His girl didn't remember him. It took everybody because Dick Grayson was his best friend. Him and Dick were tight, close as fuck. So for the fact that he had to touch his best friend and spark electricity, I'm like, that right there is.
Yeah, no, dude.
Like crazy. I'm like, the fact that you have to come. And the crazy thing is, you said what?
Did he ever get his kids back? I don't fully recall.
What happened was, all right, so what happened? There was an event called, I want to say, Heroes in Crisis, or Infinite. Was it Heroes in Crisis? All right, so, and this is a
Infinite Crisis events now.
I know. So with this, because this was a more recent one, and I really loved the way like they wrote. All right, so essentially, Batman, Superman, and a few other heroes, they created they brought some land and created a place called the Sanctuary. And the beautiful thing about that is it asks the question, if heroes are out saving everyone, who's out saving the hero? So the sanctuary was essentially therapy for heroes and a couple other villains, because Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn would pop up.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing a little bit of this, but go on.
They just speak, into a camera, and they just express how they feel. And mind you, Wally he's back. He's got all his friends back, and super friends back and stuff like that. So there a lot of them are at Sanctuary getting stuff off their chest. And with Wally, he breaks down and he accidentally kills a bunch of people. Like he killed Roy, Red Arrow. He killed a couple other people. And because he didn't know he did it at first. Like he accidentally spazzed out. He messed around and he killed a bunch of people. He created a time remnant and went back in time and made it seem like it was either Booster Gold or Harley Quinn. And then he finally something happened and he messed around with himself from a few days before when it happened to present day self. It was a whole investigation of how could this happen? Who did this? So after that happened, Wilder was like, yo, I gotta turn myself in, Tempest Fugonaut breaks him out. It was like, yo, listen, so essentially the dark multiverse is spreading and I'm gonna need you to stop it.
Yeah.
So this is around the dark multiverse is out. Those storylines were all popping and stuff like that. Those,
So real quick, with the death of Roy Harper, right? Is that why he's currently supposed to be the new Omega Lantern that they just recently came out with?
Probably. It's been so long since I read a DC comic.
That's fair. I'll admit, when it comes to DC comics,
I think it was after that story is where I stopped reading for a while. But yeah, Roy died and a couple other people died and shit like that. He got to meet his kids. They were on an alternate. They remembered him. They were somewhere in another universe. No, he was on a planet that was because of his English. There was some weird shit that happened, and his emotions. It was crazy. But he got to reunite with his kids.
Oh, that's good.
Because while his whole thing was, I don't have my wife. Remember, he was married to Linda.
Yeah.
That wasn't his bit. They weren't a fling. He had a wife and a kids. He was a whole young man, a whole young adult when Dr. Manhattan plucked him from the timeline. And that's why all that time shit happened. The Doomsday Clock. A lot of people were like, the timeline was messed up, and that was DC's way of bringing some people back and refixing some shit. But that was all Dr. Manhattan taking people off the timeline because he wanted to know, at what point, why do the Age of Heroes, or what happens if I do this, how it'll affect the future. So what he did was he went back and then he took the first Green Lantern's lantern out of reach from him, and he never became the Green Lantern. And then there was no Superman and there were no heroes, because in the Watchmen universe, heroes don't exist.
Yeah.
Superheroes don't exist.
Yeah.
So he, Alan Scott never became Green Lantern and never set off a bunch of other events. So, he had the only thing is Dr. Manhattan couldn't see past an event where he was fighting Superman or Superman was there. Like he said, the last thing he seen is Superman coming towards him and then black. Because, Dr. Manhattan is essentially immortal, so he didn't understand why, but he essentially, I guess, reset the timeline or some shit like that.
Yeah. I just want to add, when it comes to Dr. Manhattan, because I'll admit, when it comes to the Watchmen characters, I don't know that much about them. For Dr. Manhattan, because I know he's a reality manipulator, right?
Who?
Dr. Manhattan.
I think he manipulates matter. Yeah.
Matter. Okay. How high up, on the power scale are we talking here for matter manipulation? For a character, where would you put him alongside?
Bro, he exists throughout all right, so say if we're talking, it's 9:30 at night right now, he can tell you what he's doing 30 years ago and 30 years in the future as we speak. Where are you at right now? Right now, I'm in 1979, having a cup of coffee with so and so, shit like that.
Yeah,
like he's experiencing time like wildly different from us. So he is extremely up there in power scaling, bro. Like he plucked motherfuckers out the timeline.
Yeah,
Jesus.
You feel me? So I'm like, he changed events in time.
Would we say like roughly like a
This
comic
dude was such a being. Like he was like so him. He just chose to live on Mars because there was nothing for him on Earth.
So like
I couldn't live like that.
So would you say like roughly maybe the power of like a not the MCU, because I feel like the MCU's Infinity Gauntlet was heavily nerfed, but for the comic
a lot of these motherfuckers in the MCU are nerfed. I would say he is up there because I'm not gonna say he's Franklin Richards.
Oh yeah, no, I know well enough to not rival with Franklin Richards.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, Franklin Richards made Galactus his herald. And mind you, Franklin Richards went back. Franklin Richards is so OP. He went back in time to activate his powers as a kid. And Kid Him was creating baby universes under a cover.
Yeah, no, I remember that. Dude, Franklin Richards, when I saw that, dude, when you just went, Rise by Galactus, and I was just like, oh my god. But, what was I going to say? Because I know, like, for example, when it comes to, like, Infinity Stones, the Reality Stone is the most powerful, right? Like, that's been stated by Thanos and multiple other characters, that the Reality Stone...
the Reality Stone is a problem. Because the Space Stone is just dark matter, just creates space.
Yeah.
The Soul Stone is only... You have to find the Soul Stone and then sacrifice some shit for the Soul Stone.
Yeah,
Reality Stone.
I'm kind of confused on how the Soul Stone operates in the Marvel comics.
Yeah, I need a refresher on that as well, because I'm like, I know, the Soul Realm. Adam Warlock was all up in that motherfucker, and I thought he controlled the Soul Realm.
But like, for example, the Reality Stone, like, with the Infinity Gauntlet, you can change, like Thanos said in the movie, right? Like, reality can be whatever I want with this gauntlet, right? The Infinity Stone. Like, even the just the basic Infinity Stone is more powerful than the MCU's Infinity Gauntlet. Because with that structure alone, you can change the entire universe. And I mean everything in the universe, right?
Well, you have to understand what Thanos wanted to do with those stones. Because remember, Thanos, he was a villain, but he wasn't like a megalomaniac for the most part. Like I said, he had a goal. This was thought out. This was concise. Remember, this man was 3,000 years old, so he's damn near seen it and done it all. So I'm like, he didn't need to, mind you, look at what he was doing in the whole movie. He was barely fighting in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And I said, what? I said he wanted to go collect some shit. He had some niggas collect some shit for him. I said, well, everyone was out here fighting on Earth. He was looking for a stone.
Yeah. Which I will say, real quick, if you wouldn't mind, like for Endgame, right? I do feel like they messed up a little bit in Endgame with the fact that Thanos without the Infinity Gauntlet was stronger than Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet.
It's not even that. It's more so Thanos, he doesn't need, like, he didn't use them for extra strength. He needed them because that was the only way for him to complete his goal efficiently.
No. I understand that part, but it was like Thor was able to take out Thanos, right? Where he was able to match the Infinity Gauntlet in power.
No. Here's the thing: his axe was made to do shit like that.
Yeah,
Stormbreaker.
I know that.
Stormbreaker, and mind you, it wasn't even the gauntlet; it was the beams from the Infinity Stones. Thor was going to be the only person to defeat Thanos, and he didn't. That's why it was almost Thor's movie. If you look at everything from Thor Ragnarok, and then you take that into consideration. No, my bad. Thor: The Dark World, and you take that into consideration to the events of Infinity War and Endgame. Thanos has gone to Xandar, where the Guardians were. He blew that shit up for the Power Stone. He went straight for the Space Stone, because remember, he didn't do anything until all those big ass threats were dead. He go to Living Planet, murked. Odin, murked. Ultron, murked.
Yes.
Because Ultron would have bodied Thanos.
I do want to go to that Ultron real quick. How did you guys feel about not so much the movie, which I'll admit I feel like the movie is also a bit underrated, but how did you guys like Ultron himself?
Oh, James
The
Spader
movie version of Ultron or the comic version?
The movie version.
Well,
I think I know exactly where you're gonna go with this, and I agree. The comic book version, in my opinion, was far superior.
And I think that's the only downside of Marvel. Like they didn't even have at this point. Was it Ultron was before Civil War because Sokovia Accords wouldn't happen. But I'm like, Civil War should have just not been a thing until Phase 4.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I feel like Age of Ultron, Civil War should have been held off for a while.
Because I'm like, we could have done a bunch of other stories, but I'm like, with Civil War, it's set up Endgame perfectly because Zemo did his job so well. Thanos was able to wipe out half the universe.
Yeah.
Baron Zemo literally split up the Avengers to the point where they were Tony and Cap didn't even meet until after the 3 weeks when Captain Marvel brought him down from space.
Yeah.
Mind you, throughout that whole time, Iron Man was doing this shit, Captain was doing this shit, Bucky was somewhere else. Everybody was spread thin. Exactly. Everyone was spread thin. There was no further. No, they weren't a team. They were not a team, and that was a perfect time for Thanos to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a perfect time. I said Thor and Iron Man had the best chances.
Yes. Yeah. Even Wanda
wasn't a fighter like that, but I'm like, Thor and Iron Man had the best chances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iron Man was a nigga in a suit, and he made him barely bleed.
Yeah, no, I
said
definitely.
Thor. The only thing that stopped Thor from killing Thanos, like he's a warrior, and he's one of those warriors. He wants to revel and gloat while he's fucking you up.
Yeah,
and that's the only thing. I'm like, if you just want to straight like God of War, just murk him, bro. Because at the end of the day, Infinity War was Thanos' story.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I personally preferred Infinity War over Endgame.
I think because that was a setup, like everything leading up, and then after, like Endgame was great, but the anticipation of Infinity War, because it's the beginning of the last phase of the Infinity Saga. Like this is 10 years, 20 movies.
10 years in the making. This is it.
Right. I'm like the Tesseract from Captain America, the First Avenger, all the way to Black Panther.
Yeah.
Ant-Man, you know what I'm saying? Even Ant-Man was connected into the shit. So I'm like,
and Guardians of the Galaxy too?
Right. And then like I said, with Phase 5 coming up and we're getting the multiverse saga, like there shouldn't be like too much that they should fuck up. Like the way I've seen the trailer for Ant-Man, I like the way they did King.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the trailer for Ant-Man yet. I've been kind of avoiding the trailers, so when I go sit down I'm completely surprised.
Don't do that.
Why is that?
I'm gonna let you know. Because the trailers are going to be wildly different from the movie. Like the trailer that's out now is wildly different from the trailer that they showed for D23.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Like I said before it comes out in March, I think there's like 2 trailers. They might drop a couple more trailers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Jonathan Majors as Kang looks amazing.
And also he's not
a nigga. He's not a nigga in a blue suit. He's using the shield chip that they use in Endgame. The way the way his shit is looking in the quantum realm, it gives you like futuristic Wakandan vibes, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, I'll admit, like, Kang the Conqueror is one of the characters I thought would have been a bit later in the MCU.
Right.
To be honest, because like, you know, which, as you guys know, because you guys have both read comics, like, Kang the Conqueror is from the year 3025 or something like that.
Yeah, he's in the far future.
Distant future, right? And like this dude alone was able to solo the Avengers like it was nobody's business without even trying. Like and then not only that, but like when he brings his armies, like you're just done for at that point.
Yeah.
Right. Like this man was like so big of a threat that he has conquered almost every single timeline.
And that's a funny thing, because the more he goes back in time, he creates a new timeline. So no matter, like, today you can deal with a king, and then 2 days from now you'll deal with a whole new different king from another time. And that's the crazy part about King. You can't stop him.
The only character that I know who has literally been able to beat King like that was freaking Ultron. And that was because, so get this, right? Like, I forget specifically which comic book it was, but like King with his futuristic technology was able to basically be like, okay, well, if I do this, what's my likeliness of succeeding, right? And it was like he basically wanted to go to a specific point in time where Ultron was like currently active, right? And he wanted to basically wipe out the Avengers and kill everyone on Earth, right? And his computer basically was like, oh yeah, if you go right now and bring this many forces, you are 100% guaranteed to win. He proceeded, or basically Kang had done this over, if I remember correctly, he did this over 0.2 million times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And he lost every single time because of Ultron.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this man was guaranteed to win, and Ultron proceeded to knock his teeth in, or kick his teeth in, over 2 million times. And then Kang threw a fit and just nuked the timeline.
Yeah, because I'm like, you have to understand, Ultron is a savage at his best.
Yes.
He is literally, let's just say, when it comes to, it's people like him and Annihilus. Annihilus has a horde, and they've given Avengers problems.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. When it comes to characters like King the Conqueror and Annihilus, just with sheer numbers, they are going to take out like during the Civil War event was the same time as what was the event with Annihilus where he was going across like the whole universe, just killing everything.
Talking about, and he's out here. The whole shit was out here murking every piece of life on
killing everybody.
Yeah, I know. And then like Earth is having its civil war, like, and then you go out into space. You have the Guardians of the Galaxy, you have Nova, you have Quasar, and they're like all trying to figure out how to stop Annihilus, right? Even Galactus freaking got or held captive by Annihilus and his hordes. And it was like, dude, Annihilus had so many bugs at his disposal. He was able to take out the Devourer of Worlds. I don't even know how you do that. That's scary.
One person I am excited to see.
What's up?
Is shit, what's her Squirrel Girl. So what I'm doing right now on TikTok is every day I
did not expect that to come out of your mouth, but yes, go on. Squirrel Girl is a pretty
solid. Go off, King.
She is solid as fuck. Squirrel Girl, essentially, she will beat your ass with a gang of squirrels.
Yes.
She has already defeated Dr. Doom by jumping him with rodents. That is why she is called the unbeatable Squirrel Girl, which is why I'm asking Kevin Feige every day on TikTok until I get her to give us Squirrel Girl in the MCU.
Watch, he's gonna pull what they did in the She-Hulk, where like Squirrel Girl, kind of like Mr. What was his name? Mr. Immortal, right?
Yeah, Mr. Immortal.
They just pop him up or pop Squirrel Girl in there, completely different person from their comic book counterpart, right? And then it's just like some girl who's really, really obsessed with squirrels.
Yeah, I'm not even.
Who would you find a good actress for Squirrel Girl?
Shoot, I ain't got like any picks on that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Me neither.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll probably do a YouTube video about.
I think if anything for casting, make Squirrel Girl a brand new actor that like no one has seen, right?
Yeah,
kind of like what they did with America, Miss Marvel. Yeah,
yeah, because I'm like, you have younger stars like up and coming playing these not replacement characters, but they're carrying mantles, or they're bringing in the next generation of heroes. So you have someone like Kate Bishop's Hawkeye, who's being played by Haley Steinfeld. She's popular, but she's not as popular as RDJ, Chris Hemsworth, or you know what I'm saying? She's famous, but I'm like, you know what I'm saying? She's still young. She's still young in her career. That's why I'm like, you know, so I like all the things. Even her music is fire, and I loved her in Pitch Perfect. But I said I really want to see more.
Spider-Gwen.
Exactly, her Spider-Gwen is amazing, and like I said, they're working on the Madam Web movie, and they're almost done finishing it.
I remember hearing about that. Is that going to be a live action, or is that going to be animated?
I don't know if it's gonna. I think it's live action. I'm not sure if it's. I think it's a movie. I think it's a movie or a short series.
All I'm saying is, if they do like a Spider-Verse movie for the MCU, I kind of hope they make it animated so it would tie in with the Spider-Verse animated movies.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are talks, and these are just rumors. All right. So I don't know who. Well, I'll say the rumor first. There's a rumor that Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield will be playing small parts in the Spider-Verse movie.
That would be sweet. I also heard, I don't know about Andrew, but I heard Toby is supposed to be coming back for Secret Wars as well.
I heard about Andrew too for smaller roles. They're going to be playing.
That's good because Andrew. I don't know about you guys. Andrew's my favorite Spider-Man.
I grew up on Toby, but Andrew.
No, I grew up on Toby
Andrew's
too.
Funny.
But I really enjoyed Andrew.
Andrew holds a special place in my heart because his Peter was just victim to a not so great script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for Andrew, I loved almost everything about the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I'll admit, Amazing Spider-Man 2 wasn't as good as it could have been. But I still really enjoyed the film. I would still rewatch it, right?
Yeah, it's like you can find great things about movies that didn't do so great, like the Fantastic film, the latest, the reboot for the Fantastic Four. Miles Teller would have made a great Reed Richards in the MCU.
Yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying? Michael B. Jordan did his thing as Johnny Storm's Human Torch. Like the fact that Johnny and Sue were the adopted siblings works just as great as them being biological siblings.
Mm-hmm.
One's more responsible, level-headed. One's more hands-on, a bit more rambunctious and impulsive and stuff like that. You know, so I thought that was pretty cool. The CGI.
I thought their acting was fine. It was the way that the movie was written.
Oh yeah, the script was.
Yeah, the movie was written like shittily.
Was wild because I'm like, as much as we wanted, like we could have gotten another Fantastic Four. We could have gotten the third one for all that.
Yeah, which I will say, like, I know a lot of people were like complaining the fact that Human Torch was a black guy.
Fuck out of here! All you have to do is make sure that the character is true, because it's not like Johnny Storm's race was crucial to him being the character. Shit, in the comics, he was Peter's mentor and best friend.
Yeah, but no, like I can agree with that. Which I'll admit at first, because I was one of those people where I was like, I want my superhero movies to be as comic book accurate as possible, right?
Yeah.
But like you guys said, I agree. I think he did a fine job as Human Torch. If he came back as Human Torch, I would be perfectly fine with it. I did not like him as Killmonger, though.
I liked him as Killmonger.
I loved him as Killmonger.
For me, it was I didn't like the fact, like, what's it called? I didn't like the reason he was a villain. Like, yeah, I get it was because his dad died too, but it was.
I don't even think he was a villain per se. He was just an antagonist.
Yeah, well, yeah. The antagonist of the film.
Because I'm like, I get where he's like, because no funny shit, all he had to do was really just make sure T'Challa was dead.
Yeah.
That is all.
Which, like, I will say this though, for me, the only thing that bothered me about Killmonger's character was the fact that he was like, ah, yes, the white man.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't just what he's saying is people like us, not just in America but in other countries around the world, could have used some type of liberation in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Slavery, because
we could have used that. He's talking. You know what I mean?
He's talking the act of colonization. He's talking the transatlantic slave trade. He's talking slavery, Jim Crow, Reconstruction, all of it. He's talking a whole history into which our people never really had to suffer. You would have just shared your shit.
Yeah, no, which I agree with that.
It's not even the fact that it's coming from another like a black guy from America. It's coming from their cousin. Who separated from them because his uncle did a horrible thing and chose to cover it up.
Yeah, which I definitely agree with that. Like, if Wakanda would have stepped in, they like a lot of the world's worst events to ever happen wouldn't have happened. Like, for example, World War II, things like the Holocaust, right? Things like Hydra things like Hydra, right? They would have never really been able to happen because Wakanda was just so much better than every other country.
I think they would have, maybe. I think
like Hydra still would have been a thing. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Hydra would have still been a thing, but I don't think they would have got. I think that a lot of their shit would have been more foiled, like especially when it comes to countries like Britain and France invading Africa. Like they did in history. Yeah. Like I would have loved to see, like, you know how Namor fought with Cap and the android Human Torch. In the wars, and how Wolverine fought in every single war and fought with people throughout history and out the Marvel Comics universe. I would have loved to see some shit where you had, you know, motherfucking who like a historical event that took place in Africa, or you know what I'm saying? And I would have loved to see a Black Panther deal with some shit like that, like because that would have been cool to see. Like they try to colonize Western Africa, or they try to.
His dad, when he was Black Panther, didn't he involve himself in World War II with Captain America?
Think he was, because he wasn't that old.
No,
I'm not gonna say. I think T'Challa's dad was, because he was a bit younger in the '90s. Remember when he killed N'Jaga's father, his brother?
No. I'm saying comic book wise.
Oh, I'm not. Damn. I thought so. That's why I'm
pretty sure he did.
Because I'm like, there had to be a Black Panther that did something in history.
The Black Panther, when they like eventually kind of went back and retconned a little bit. I will say though, because you were bringing up like Wolverine. Right, and I love the fact that like in a lot of like shows and media, when you see Captain America and World War II are having a flashback, you can always like almost always see Wolverine somewhere dressed up in like the U.S. military uniform, and you see him fighting alongside Captain America. And I always thought that was like really cool to see. Like in Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, if I remember correctly, when Captain America was rushing the Hydra base, you see Wolverine like in a trench trying to light up a cigar, just like not giving a freaking crap that everything's blowing up beside it.
Yeah, Yeah, I would have loved to see, like, was it the Wolverine movie, the Wolverine Origins movie that came out all those years ago. As bad as it was, like that early montage of him fighting through different wars.
Yeah,
we could have just gotten a movie. We could have just gotten a movie about that.
Yeah, which was one of the
where
reasons
like the end he meets, Stryker and all that shit happens. So I'm like, we could have gotten a whole Wolverine, history movie.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm really looking forward to the X Deaths and X Lives of Wolverine comic book.
Those were amazing. I'm not going to front.
I haven't read all of them yet, but from what I've
check out Comics Explained, and he did the series. Rob Jefferson and Comics Explained.
Not Benny. Rob.
Yeah, Benny does comic story, and I like his shit too.
Yeah, I know both of them. They're awesome.
Yeah,
no, I want the Rob core ring, man. Let me tell you.
Nah, what he say? I forgot what comic he was talking about. I think it was either Kingdom Come or it was something else. But he said he was like, man, if God was writing comic books right now, man, if God was writing comic books right now, that dude. Like the praise he gives to Jonathan, like Jonathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers is something that he'll mention a lot, and I will never get tired of it because that run was insane.
Oh, I guess Q accidentally left. He's waiting to come in again.
Oh, that's it.
I was wondering why he was so quiet. But I actually will be right back.
No, you good. You good.
Yep.
Yo.
I don't know what the fuck happened with my phone. It's just like I thought it was dead, but it was on the charger the whole time. And then something wrong with my phone. 9 times out of 10, I need to get a new one.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of new shit I gotta grab.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, like you were saying, Josiah?
No, you good. Oh, no, yeah, he'll be right back.
Oh. But yeah, I think they need to recast. Like, this is just my opinion. I don't think Michael B. Jordan would probably be like, Johnny Storm again.
Probably not. I mean, I liked him as Johnny Storm. It'd be nice to see him in Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm like, Black Panther 2 confirmed his death. So I'm like, okay.
Wait, Black Panther 2 confirmed his death?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I kind of already assumed he died like afterwards, so
yeah, because I'm like, with comics and comic book movies, if you don't necessarily see them die on screen, they're not dead. You feel me?
All right, true. No one truly dies in comics,
right? Because I'm like, remember T'Challa? You know what I'm saying? He could have, I don't know, because I'm like, if they can stop a bullet wound with a colloidal bead, stab wound is. But I get it. I get it. But it was just one of those things where like I'm looking at the state, like even with Black Adam, for a DC comic movie, fire.
Yeah. True.
Fire. If it were its own standalone film, probably mid.
Yeah.
Probably mid.
But also, quick question: did they ever bring up the burn it all scene
in Black Panther 2?
Yeah,
yeah. So in the beginning, what I tell you, Sherry was praying to Boss, for help, to save her brother. She was trying to reconstruct the heart-shaped herb.
Oh, so
like a synthetic. She's trying to make a but she failed in the beginning. That's why she wasn't able to save him. That's why there was no Black Panther for most of the movie. But like she was for the most part trying to recreate the herb so they can have
can take
her brother.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Shy. I just needed to know that she tried to recreate it. That's all I needed to know because that's been bothering me for like at least some good years.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but after that, I didn't need spoiler warning.
The shit was insane. Like you're gonna love what they did with Namor.
I'm pretty sure if I don't fall in love with this shit, I'm gonna be pissed.
Like, yeah, it was amazing.
I bet it was. Heck, my mom watched Black Panther 2 without me.
Damn.
But here's the thing, though. The quality was shit. The sound was shit. But she just can't stop watching it.
Oh, no, because it's just one of those movies. Like, I seen it on bootleg before I seen it in the theaters.
Shit, I want to see it in a theater.
I was like, yo, before the internet fucks all this shit up and spoils some shit for me.
Kind of like how they did with me in Sonic 2.
Oh, like, hey, yo.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord.
You know, my fucking money to come in.
I just cannot wait till I see it.
Shit, I might go again this weekend.
Shoot. I need to find a way to go to the movies to see it. But 9 times out of 10, considering how my dad is and like my mom and all this shit, is just like, ugh.
Right.
It's like I'm not allowed to have fun anymore.
I've been there. I've definitely been there.
Yeah. Like, not even gonna lie, it's just like it. It's hard to explain, man. That's just how it is. I didn't want to get personal on the podcast, but you know.
I get it. I was definitely your age once.
Yes, and besides, like I already know that part 1 is like the album that I'm working on is going to be heavily censored and not going to tackle as much stuff that I wanted. So majority of it is going to be in part 2.
Right.
Yes.
No, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like with me, what I was gonna do Sunship to my Starship, but I'm like that's more of an intimate project.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I definitely want to spend more time working on it next year. So I think I've just been making shit for the Black Elevator Music sessions.
Oh yeah. For the Black Elevator Music series. Wait, is Grizz on Black Elevator Music?
Who?
Grizz.
I was gonna put him on there with that song we did, but I'm actually gonna do a different one with him.
Oh yeah, and also the stuff we got going on.
Yeah, I definitely guess I'm trying to get it. It's mainly, like I said, it's like one of them Calvin Harris, DJ Khaled type albums. So
yeah, so it's kind of like a DJ John Mill album, kind of like.
Yeah.
Black Elevator Music.
Like without I don't know, because I'm like, I don't want to talk over my shit. Like I think for the most part, I might just do like skits, like
or just do it how like Revenge of the Dreamers 3 did it.
Right. That shit was hard.
Yes.
That shit was hard.
Like
Even and I got the deluxe. I got the deluxe version. So like that was when that shit came out. Like that was constantly in rotation. And then
of course, it has to be.
And then when they dropped the deluxe version, because they couldn't fit all the other shit on the first, I'm like, yo, this is amazing.
That's probably like, what I'm going to do with Invasion.
Yeah. Because I'm like, it got to the point where I'm like, yo, I really thought to myself, like, I ain't never been to no concert or no festival. And I'm like, I might just hit up the Dreamville Festival this year.
Hell yeah, shit. My only regret is not actually going there because, school.
Yeah, school's a bitch.
Yes, I would have definitely be out there with J. Cole all the way in Atlanta. Trey Sound. Hey, what up, dog? They probably won't know who the fuck I am.
Friday Night Lights is what put me out of Cole. Then I told my cousin, I was like, you heard this dude named Cole? And he was like, Cole? J. Cole? He's like, y'all heard about him like last year, a couple years ago. So I went back and bumped the warm up and the come up, and I was just mad at myself that he wasn't on my radar before. But 2010, man, changed my life.
Yes, sir. Now, like years later, here we are.
Right.
Yeah, shit. Cause like I got some hits on the way.
And that's the thing. I'm like, I just want to fuck. Yeah, you can play Visions for me. Because that's when I told you I said I have a song named called Visions too.
Oh yeah. Like the Visions, like I don't know how we're going to do like the sequel to Visions.
It may have to do is like we could do like a whole different beat, if anything. Because I'm like, no matter how many songs we do, you're always going to be put on a project, or I'll just release it as a single.
Yeah. Or just do it how like fucking Flying Lotus with Black Balloons with Denzel Curry.
Yeah, Flying Lotus is dope as shit. The Alchemist is someone I like too. His shit is fire.
What the heck is Flying Lotus?
Flying Lotus is a producer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's dope as hell.
You'll definitely fuck. If you like J Dilla and shit like that, you'll fuck with Flying Lotus. Odyssey is fire too.
Yes. I haven't heard much stuff from Odyssey since once I grew up or some shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go on Spotify and see what he released lately.
Yeah, I might have to do that. Mm-hmm. And also Chris Rivers is good too.
You saw what?
Chris Rivers.
Yeah, that nigga's fucking fire.
Hell yes.
I'm just nodding along. I don't even know what you're on about.
We're talking about underground rappers.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Like Grizzly?
I think so. Yeah.
Who, T Grizzly?
Would he count as one or no?
Huh?
I don't think T would count as a main. Would count as an underground, but he's definitely not underground. If you get in radio play, like if you get your like, you'll know. Like this shit's. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just caught off by this guy with a faux hairline. Anywho,
basically, if you get on the radio, like constantly in rotation, like all over, yeah, you're basically not underground no more. You are known. But people like King ISO, yeah, he is underground.
Yeah. For the most part, if you're not blowing up through mainstream channels, you're underground.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, where will we put Tech in there?
He'd be mainstream. Tech is main. He's been out. He's been doing shit for way too long to still be underground.
Yes. Kind of like
if you're doing music. Yeah, if you're doing music for tons of years
and impacted like a whole like culture,
right? Like Frizzle, like
get noticed.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like the whole Team Backpack era, YouTube with niggas doing ciphers and shit like that. The whole mixtape era. I said if niggas was getting it popping during the mixtape era, and niggas are still talking about them today, put some respect to their name.
Of course, kind of like Gmo Ski.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised he ain't. Well, he almost would have beaten Kanye in streams.
I don't know. I think when Kanye drops another album, that shit's still gonna sell.
It is gonna sell, despite everything that happened.
And so because he still makes great music.
Well, yeah. And also, speaking of Kanye, do you think that people are going to forgive him?
You still what?
Are people going to forgive Kanye?
Yes and no.
Okay. Explain.
All right, so they're gonna forgive him when he drops another album, but they're also not gonna forgive him because he's also done a whole lot of shit. Like,
yes,
I'm mad at Kanye, but I also feel for Kanye.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's not the Kanye I knew growing up. He's definitely not the Kanye like I would have expected to see in you know in my adult life. But
yeah,
after keep in mind, Kanye, despite him being a very famous person, if not one of the most famous people in the world, he's still human. He has doubts, fears, you know what I'm saying? He has a family, you know, he has kids. So I have to, me personally, I just hope things get better for Kanye. Like, I'm like, for the most part, like, even when I joke about it on stage or with other comedians or whatnot, like, this nigga's going through some real life shit. This nigga lost.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This nigga had to go through a divorce. He's out here struggling through mental shit. You know what I'm saying? The internet is clowning him and whatnot. So I'm like, granted, he's doing a lot of goofy shit too, but at the same time, it's like, damn. Like, I like, back in my mind is like, I really think Kanye is crying for help and no one's noticing. Like, part of me says like thinks that.
Exactly.
Like, Kanye's going through something and like something's going to happen to him or he's going to do something and it's going to be too late.
Yes. Basically how like the people of TikTok has been saying, oh, like the bringing that unreleased Kanye song that he made, like I think before My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I'm pretty sure you've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like. I don't want it to happen like that. I don't want Kanye to end like that.
Crap, none of this is working.
No, it is.
Hey, Josiah, you have any things about Kanye you want to share?
If he wasn't running up against Trump, I would have voted for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like if Kanye was his own Republican candidate, I would have voted for him.
Whatever the fuck that was.
Because even though, like I said, Kanye has done a lot for his people, so I will say that. Like, if Kanye's going to do something, I believe Kanye's going to do it. Like, after seeing Kanye throughout his whole career and just hearing and listening to the shit he says some profound shit, and he's also said some shit that may not make sense to us at the moment.
But then give it a few years.
Right. I'm like, he wasn't wrong about a lot of his shit in his music. And he said some very powerful things in his music as well, even in interviews. And like I said, I hope that the world and Kanye come to a mutual understanding because we need people like Kanye. He's a really great artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we need artists and stuff like that. Kanye still ours. Like, despite what you think of him, that's still our guy.
Yeah.
That's still our guy. This guy was like,
he is a pioneer.
He is, and I'm like, I just think he's a bit off. He just needs a bit help, and it's frustrating because I've seen regular people, with shit like, deal with their own shit, and to see a billionaire go through that shit, and that billionaire looks like me. You know what I'm saying? This billionaire is the same billionaire that told me I can be anything I wanted to be and fuck everybody else, and now it's like, well, damn. But mind you, for some reason, Kanye, I don't know, I think Kanye's going to come out on top. These guys are muted. Why?
Yeah, I think I need a new mattress.
Why do you think you need a new mattress?
So my girlfriend's baby spilt milk on my bed, right? Like a whole bottle's worth of milk. And it's like spoiled milk now.
Nah, you just gotta clean some of that shit out and do it.
No, I am. The only thing is, it's like the thing that I'm using to clean it out isn't helping at all because it's not getting into the mattress at all.
Oh yeah, flip that bitch over.
Yeah, it's best to flip it over.
Yeah, here's the thing though, the smell is still there.
Damn. Yes. You're gonna have to cover that shit up with a bunch of blankets
for 3 days.
Or towels.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to just switch the sheets and spray a whole lot of shit.
Yeah, I tried. I sprayed like almost a whole bottle of Febreze on it, man. This smell is.
We talking about that Lysol.
Lysol actually ain't a bad idea, but shoot, the stuff I turned into paste, dried up, and turned back into the like little powdery substance and formed rocks, but it still didn't go into the mattress at all. Wow. And now I have like tiny slits all over my hand where all this chemicals are getting it. I should probably wash my hand, actually. I'll be right back.
Yes. All right. But back to music. Do you think we're ever gonna get another Lauryn Hill album?
Nah.
Yeah, I kind of assumed.
Nah. So we're gonna get an Outkast reunion tour before that shit drops.
Yes. Or at least like a reunion album. Yeah. It's gonna be like a reunion tour, a reunion album. I'm going to be featured on it.
That would be so fucking dope.
Shoot, imagine me just with 3K and Big Boy just spitting bars and shit.
That'd be amazing.
Like, what would be your initial reaction? Like, after you see Outkast featuring DeMarcus, what would be your immediate reaction?
Repeat. I'm doing repeats.
Yes, repeats automatically. You have to overanalyze my bars and shit.
This, nigga.
I bet you finna call me. I was like, Q, this better be dope.
Right.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, I don't even think we're getting another album from these niggas, but
oh, jeez. Yeah. And also in video game news, I'm finally about to get into more Genshin, you know.
I haven't I've seen gameplay for it. I haven't played Genshin Impact yet. I might get it from my laptop.
It's best that you do. And also invest in Welcome Moon. It costs like $5, like for 90 Primo Gems, and it lasts for 30 days. It definitely beats the grind time in half.
Oh wow.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get up on that. I'm definitely gonna have to get up on that.
Yeah. And also, I haven't beat God of War yet. Like God of War Ragnarok.
The first one?
No, not the first one. Ragnarok.
Oh, I don't got Ragnarok at the moment.
Well, I do, and it's amazing. You need to get it.
Yeah, I know. I was going to grab another gaming laptop, but I'm like, the only game I would really be missing out on is Ragnarok, because that's the only game I want to play. Other games I can play on the PC. But I'm like, damn, do I really want to spend $500 to go play a God of War? Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm. Shit, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to get me a job so I can at least get not God of War, fucking Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And also Breakers and fucking everybody's telling me to get on Fighters. Ugh. Like, bruh, I don't feel like getting on Fighters, which, like, that's just me though.
I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
You get that.
Agreed. Oh, good lord. And also, there's Grand Blue Fantasy versus. That's also a good game.
What is it?
Grand Blue Fantasy versus.
Okay, yeah. I know Grand Blue. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And it costs like $20. Ooh, Lord.
That's not bad.
Yes. And I'm mad that all my $100 bills is now gone.
Easy come, easy go, they say.
Yes, easy come, easy go. It is what it is, though.
Word.
But yeah, most definitely I'm about to give me a job soon. Very, very soon. Even though I may not have a car yet, it's best to, yeah.
No, I feel you on that. I'm behind in a couple bills, but I should be all right.
Yeah. And also, I need money for shit. So.
Bro, I hear you. I'm gonna go on mute for a little bit. But yeah, I desperately need money.
Yeah. But yeah, I just like need money.
Shit, I gotta start saving money.
Shoot, same here, man. I have to start saving as well. And also, I got PayPal, so that's something. And Cash App too, because your boy is about to be streaming soon.
Nice.
Yes, nice indeed.
Yeah, I just gotta finish. I just said something. I gotta see if this video is done. Fuck. This shit probably not even done. No, that's okay.
Shit, I also need to talk to Jordan again.
About what?
Basically, the shit from my stuff.
Mm.
And also, have I told you that I'm about to be moving in with Alonzo?
No.
Yeah, I'm about to be moving in with him. I also have to tell Jordan also about that.
So when is this supposed to be happening?
Probably either sometime after Christmas or New Year's.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. I'll try to get my permit, or at least my license. I don't know how this shit's gonna go. But either way, I'm going to get what I need, and then I'm about to go and, set this thing off. And I'm going to try my hardest to get to 1,000 followers so I can at least be making money on TikTok.
Yeah, so I've been trying to do more TikToks and shit lately because the stand-up is great, but I'm trying to gather my social media presence and bring that up.
Exactly.
So doing an open mic Sunday. I'm gonna do another one on Tuesday. Oh man. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just on my computer. Just chilling.
He said, I'm just chilling. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I dropped a song today. It'll be About Last Night on all streaming platforms.
Ooh. Is it called Here We Go?
That one was the one before that. This one is called About Last Night. Hold on. I should have it. Spotify.
And also, I'm using a new controller for my, stuff. So hopefully, that's going to be something good. I'm just testing out my controller right now.
Okay, I see you out here. I think you out here. Yeah, shit. But yeah, Black Panther was crazy. Black Adam, I might see it again. I might. It was okay. Still better than Thor in my eyes.
Was Thor that bad?
It wasn't bad. It just could have been better.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm just tired of goofy Thor.
Yeah, I could tell that you're also tired.
Like, goofy Thor is just like, we get it. He's funny, this and the third, but I want to see him do some serious shit too.
What the hell is going on?
But yeah, I got a lot going, so it's. I think because I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I feel the burnout from Marvel. I guess to an extent.
Yeah.
I guess to an extent. But I don't know.
I could feel
like just this year just this year we had a whole bunch of movies and stuff come out. Miss Marvel and She-Hulk and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes, blah blah blah.
I just forgot how much shit there was in Phase 4. I'm like, I may just need a break, and I'm glad we're not getting anything movie-wise from Marvel until Ant-Man.
Exactly.
Even with what you call it? Excuse me.
Yeah.
So even with Guardians of the Galaxy, next week we won't have anything from Marvel for a few months. Thank goodness. I'm not even gonna hold you.
What's up?
I'm not even. Listen, I said I'm just gonna say Ant-Man. I'm excited for. I know they're not gonna fuck that up because the first two were popping.
Of course. And they better not fuck it up either.
But I feel like with Peyton Reed, he said this is going to be like, I don't know, this might be like, because in the trailer, Scott did look beat the fuck up. So I think this might be more of a, I don't think it'll be as, lighthearted as the other ones. Which, cool. This is something different for Scott's character.
What's gonna be different for Scott's character?
Just the fact that I think this movie is going to be darker than the other ones.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it's not going to be
like goofy as the originals.
Right. Like I say, you'll have the comedic bits because Paul fucking Rudd and stuff like that, but this movie might be a bit more, like I said, it might take a more serious turn, which of course it's Kang. This is an introduction. This is Marvel's big bad. So I'm like the fact that this is his introduction to one of his variants. Because we don't even know if this is Kang Prime yet.
Kang Prime.
We don't. Shit is wild.
And I forgot it has bits. Shit, I forgot these things don't have analog.
Oh no, man. Me personally, I think as long as the writing is good, the movie's gonna turn out great.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be a crazy, crazy phase. I think with the mutants, they need to make a whole phase dedicated to mutants or a whole saga.
Yeah.
Like, me personally, I just love the mutants and the X-Men.
I feel you.
But I'm gonna end this one for the night. Thank you for popping up and talking with the boy.
Almost definitely, man.
All right. Y'all be easy and have a good one. I'm gonna hit you on the group chat.
Alrighty, G. Peace.
Peace.